years ago, my husband and I, we adopted our 3 daughters, Carolina, Lacey, and Madison, and we also have a 6-year-old son. Our daughters now are 12, 14, and 16, and whenever I met my daughters, I was a school teacher, and at the school that they went to, they would come to school every day. They were foster kids, and they would come to school without their basic needs being met. They would come to school, they were dirty, they were wearing the same clothes, they were hungry, they were tired every single day. So my husband and I, we ended up getting our foster care license for these girls, and we ended up being able to foster them and to eventually adopt them. So it's a beautiful thing, but our story is not just beautiful, it's also messy and it's also real. With my girls, they were in the foster care system for almost 5 years, and in those 5 years, well, before those 5 years, they were abused in every way imaginable. Every way that you could imagine, my girls were abused, and they lived through terrible things. Their life got off to a very terrible start. So with that came, trauma and a lot of stuff, a lot of extra stuff, as you can imagine. And with our daughters, through that stuff, we had them in counseling every single week. Being a teacher and coming from a family of teachers, being a nanny before that, I know what kids need. They need consistency, kids need a lot of love, and kids need boundaries. So I was like, you know what, we've got this. So we gave them everything that we could. Through that time, our oldest, Carolina, she struggled, of course. I mean, any kiddo that's just plopped into a family and enduring everything that they had endured, of course kids are going to struggle. But our oldest really, really struggled, some scary stuff. And once we adopted the girls, those struggles just went from scary to very, very scary. She got expelled from school. She failed a whole entire semester of school. She was harming herself. She was honestly, I felt scared to live under the same roof as her because of the things that she would say and the things that she would do. She had a lot of darkness inside of her heart. So one night she came to me and she was crying. She came into our bedroom and she said, I feel like I'm on a merry-go-round, and I feel like I just keep making the same mistakes, and I know exactly what I need to do to get off the merry-go-round. I know what the right choices are, but I just can't get off. She said, I wish that life had a restart button. I wish I could just push a button and I could restart. And I told her, I said, well, Carolina, every single day that we wake up, that's our restart button. All we have to do is, God forgives our sins. We're okay. We got this. Tomorrow is a new day. We got this. Let's make good choices. But whenever I sent her off to bed, I started thinking. In my classroom, I tell my kids every day, hey, we need to use our resources. And I started thinking, gosh, in the years that we've had our girls, Brett and I, my husband and I, we haven't been using our resources. We've just been doing, what we felt that we needed to do. We've been trying every single type of parenting, but our parenting was not working. The different consequences, all of those things were not working with our oldest. So that night I started Googling, I got on my computer, and by the grace of God, I found Carpenter Place. And let's push pause real fast. A few years, before now, if somebody would have told me about Carpenter, I would have been like, oh my gosh, that's an amazing place, but I would never send my kids to somewhere to live. I would have said, no way, that's for parents who are either bad parents, I might have thought that, or that's for parents who are giving up on their kids. That's what I would have probably thought. But because of our circumstances, I called them and I just wanted some ideas, like, hey, do you have some resources in Wichita for us in our situation? And they ended up telling me that our daughter would be a perfect fit at Carpenter Place. And my husband was like, oh no, we're not going to send our daughter to go live with someone else. But we ended up praying a lot about it, and we ended up sending her there, but we gave her the choice. We said, Carolina, we can switch your schools, and you can probably keep making the same decisions and keep getting consequences, or we found you a restart button, and you can choose Carpenter to go live there, to go put in some hard work, and you can reap the benefits and get some healing for your soul and just have a brand new life. And we let her sleep on it, and I don't know how. What teenager picks something like that. But the next morning, she said, I want to do it. I want to go to Carpenter. And we were like stunned. We had no idea that she would pick that. But she ended up going, and it was the best thing we ever could have done for our family. And for her, of course. She ended up making up her whole entire semester in school. She stayed with the most amazing, amazing family. Denise and Aaron gave her love. They started every morning with a devotional. They worked on all of her goals. Her main goal that I made for her was I wanted her to feel loved, because she had always said that she knew that we loved her, but she didn't ever feel our love. She had never felt love before, and that was my main goal. I mean, everybody deserves to feel love. And now, her coming home, oh my gosh, guys, she has changed from the inside out. And not just a quick change. I thought maybe things would go back to the way that they were, you know. She did what she needed to come home. But no, her heart, her soul is changed. She is so positive. She is so kind. She is so full of Jesus. She's an amazing, amazing person. She's like a light for everybody. Her whole entire trajectory of her life has been changed. And not only has Carpenter saved her, and God too, of course, but Carpenter saved my husband and I's marriage. Our marriage was terrible, guys. With Carolina in the home, and you know, she knew exactly what to do to try to divide us. Our marriage was failing. Our other kids, she saved our other kids, I feel, as well, because they saw sister, you know, going down that path. They could have easily gone down that path as well. So it saved our marriage, it saved Carolina, it saved our kids, it's broken the cycle of her biological family, the drugs and everything that, you know, went on, having kids, getting them taken away, all of that had gone on, you know, for generations. Carpenter was truly able to restore our daughter's life and our lives, and I want to thank all of you for being so generous, for being here, for your you know, monetary contributions, for all of your prayers, and for believing in Carpenter Place, because it truly, truly changes people and it saves lives. So thank you all so much.